welcome to the fourth and final game of the evening. It is called Original Journey. Not exactly sure why it's called Original Journey. I get the journey part because you are not exactly sure what these things are, but you are on a journey to save your homeworld from, if I'm remembering correctly, the core failing. But I'm not exactly sure what's original about this. Maybe the art style, specifically the choice to go black and white and green. There's actually a fair amount of green in this game. I'm not sure if that's how these little alien buggers see the world, or if it's how things are on the planet Shadow. That is the actual name of the planet. But it's definitely the most striking thing artistically about the game. That and the actual designs of the creatures you're playing as, or the creature you're playing as and his race. It's, if nothing else, very artistically distinct, as well as fairly well designed. But as far as what this game is, it's a side-scrolling action roguelike mixed in with apparently a bit of bullet hell, and also a dash of tower defense. It's quite a lot of things, but no, I'd say the core mechanic is a 2D action run and gun. That's actually kind of limited in that regard, in that sense that the actual arenas, the actual places, are usually fairly small. Like, the screen doesn't even move. But it doesn't change that it's a rather intense affair in terms of combat. In terms of combat, it's a fairly robust selection. Plays out kind of like a twin stick shooter. You get two weapons, and if I'm remembering correctly, you start out with a grenade launcher. A grenade launcher is one of your starting weapons, and the machine gun. Grenade launcher, well, it functions like how grenade launchers usually functions in games. That is, they lob grenades, so you have to take into account a bit of velocity and an angle, because they will only go so far before flopping down. The machine gun, it's the beginning of what they call a warm-up weapon. That is to say, you have to power it up before it starts firing a lot of bullets. And those are just the first two weapons. You will get the chance to unlock more. Things like the shotgun, which functions out like a shotgun does. But
when do you get lasers?
That's an interesting question. Actually, if I'm recalling, the actual laser that you use, that's like I'm trying to remember if it was a tier 2 or tier 3 weapon. That's a higher tier than what you can unlock at the beginning. There are turrets. There are three kinds of turrets. You start out with the machine gun turrets. You get the laser turrets after a promotion in rank, and you get the shield turrets for your last bit of turretry. And honestly, I found the shield turrets fucking useless. So I stuck with the laser turrets. They operate on the same principle as the machine gun, but are much more powerful.
Because they have to be plugged in.
Yeah. Laser turrets are your friends in this game. I will say that right now. And also, your turrets don't operate off of ammo. most your ranged weapons do. You will also get melee weapons. Like first melee weapon you'll get is the katana, which is fairly powerful, but it's close quarter stuff. So yeah, and you've also got a variety of mecha suits to unlock with various properties. And the way you unlock stuff is you've got to find a certain amount of materials out in the battlefield. You'll get various like monster parts and scraps, and once you get the proper amount of ingredients alongside the proper amount of power crystals, you will be able to get those items. Fortunately, you need blueprints to unlock the higher tiers, and I'm not exactly sure how to get those. It's actually the bottleneck I was facing before I ran out of time. Anyway, typical levels flow, well, like you get to a place, there's a certain amount of creatures that you have to kill, or you be killed there, but also as you go along in the various areas, like the first area is this giant forest here, then it's a swamp, the psychedelic swamp, correctly. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get through the level, and you're trying to get to special events. Like the first one here is actually a race, and that also hit upon the biggest problem I had with the game, and that is it's got physics. It's also fairly slippery. So, like for example, if you're using the machine gun, you do have to take into account recoil.
Can you machine gun hover?
No, but you can
So not like Cave Story then.
No, but you can machine gun fall off the fucking ledge.
Fair enough.
That happened to me a few times. Yeah, the game is actually kind of loosey-goosey with its controls. Usually that's not a bit of a problem, but it's not a problem. But first special event is a race, and like every time I fucking lost because I accidentally slipped off the fucking ledges. That was the place where that was a problem. And yeah, as far as how the game plays, it all works rather well. It's not amazing, but the elements do come together rather better than I expected. I wasn't expecting the towers to work as well as they did. The way they literally work is you have a dedicated tower. Is the Y button on my Xbox controller. You hit that, then you get the option to select the towers you want, and after a few seconds, it will bring down a tower. You can bring up to 2 towers to the battlefield, and it is wise to protect them a bit because when they blow up, you don't automatically replenish the tower. You can find replacements later on, but that's not a guarantee either. And honestly, yeah, that's there's not a ton going on here in terms of gameplay systems. More than quite a few games of this nature that we have covered, certainly, but nothing in comparison to like Puzzle Dungeon Quest either. But yeah, Original Journey is a fairly solid game. Being in the roguelike genre, it does get fairly hard. Not as hard as I would expect. For example, on the Steam page, you can see the first boss fight. That's the second phase. That actually looks a lot harder than it actually is, because although it kind of reveals how to beat the boss here. Placing the laser turrets where a lot of the clay spikes rain down, don't hit, and in order to avoid those, it's actually just jump off the ledge when those things rain down. It looks a lot worse than it is. And the music is surprisingly catchy as well. Like, I especially like the opening titles. Oh, it's a fairly good show. Their price, the game clocked in at $11.99. Like, that's, I won't say it's a bit high, but this game was just recently on sale for like 90% off. So it was like $2. That's why Petty has a copy. It's like, it's fine at $12, but obviously even better at $2. But still, something I can recommend. Petty, you've been playing through a bit of the game. Anything you wish to add to the proceedings here?
Not really.
Okay. Anything from you, Alex?
No, it looks pretty decent actually.
Yeah. Like I said, recommend picking it up. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for this installment of Fragments Silicon Reviews. A week ahead. So Wednesday show. This is actually in a bit of flux right now, because we are seeing if the publisher of the game in question is seeing if the developer of the game is interested in appearing on the program, and that hasn't been solidified yet. I'm going to see if that is or is not tomorrow, as that really does need to be locked in here, because we are a couple days out from the actual show. So hopefully things go through. If things fall through, I do have a backup idea, but that kind of depends on the health of last week's guest, or got the flu. I don't know how that's proceeding. Like I said, there's quite a few unknowns for Wednesday, surprisingly. Friday is a lot more solid. After a week's delay, on November 12th, we'll be having Dan Bernardino of Playtra Games. So, if nothing else, we'll have another installment of Heaven's Vault on Wednesday. Anyway, until then, I shall wish you good game.